Hello everyone, this will be a quick guide on how to grind Gavinya Costal Cliff. The recommended AP for this spot is 2000, and the monsters are normal type, which means it's a bit harder to get to the AP caps. They also inflict knockdown CCs, so I recommend you run resist crystals that you get from Secraya for this spot. Oh, also important to note, this spot has Money Realm, and it can drop the Merchant Ring Soluns piece. The paint here is also different from the paint that you can get at Soluns Valley. So technically, you can run both paints at the same time when guarding another spot. This was the crystals that I was running. If you feel like you're safe enough and you don't need the DR, you can swap out the Edana crystal for more AP. This is just my Zephyrus page and I'm too lazy to swap them all the time. For Lightstone stats, if you're not meeting the caps, you want to run all-out attack, but if you feel like you're taking too much damage, you should probably just run your Vicious Shadow. If you do with the caps though, if your class needs, you can go into that blow instead. So let's look at the mechanics of the spot really fast. The spot is very simple, doesn't really have any special mechanics. Each pack will consist of a Sulfur Golem laying on the ground. When you start hitting him, he'll get up, summon a couple of smaller golems, and you need to keep DPSing him until he's around 50% HP. When he starts charging up an attack that will leave behind a rock. After the rock gets spawned, the Sulfur Golem will hide himself under the ground. Now, this rock is very important. This is a DPS check. You need to kill this rock as fast as possible. If you do it, the golem will get stunned and come up from the ground earlier. If you fail the mechanic, he'll absorb the rock and deal for 50% HP. So basically on this spot, if you are not meeting the DPS check, you cannot grind efficiently, because you'll basically have to waste time killing 1.5 times the HP of the golem due to failing the mechanic. But yeah, after you pass the mechanic, you keep DPSing the golem, you'll summon more small ones, and eventually, when the golem dies, you'll summon a pillar, which will stay there while summoning small waves of the small golems. Once you kill all the waves, the pillar will explode like a loot pinata, and you'll see green orbs jumping all around, so you need to stay a bit to collect that loot. The amount of loot orbs is RNG. You can get between 3, 5, 7, 10, and 20, I think. So yeah, just make sure you don't leave the pillar until you pick up all the loot, okay? Oh, also, this spot hurts really hard during nighttime, so I don't recommend you grind there during the nighttime, okay? Now, let's move on to results. At the current AP we have, it's kinda hard to tell how good this spot will be. Right now, you're looking at around 30k aggres used for around 17k to 18k trash, which should be a baseline of 3 billion silver plus RNG drops. However, once we do with the caps, I can see a lot of classes do 22k trash, while other classes will only be able to do like 20k, which should be a baseline of around 3.3 to 3.5 bill, which honestly is kind of similar to Zephyrus, maybe a bit worse. Still, this is an excellent spot if you're looking to grind the Merchant Ring, the new Turquoise die, and also you need to remember that Zephyrus will probably lose the refined essences and the dice because it won't be a highest tier spot grind zone anymore. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys have fun on the new grind zone. If you don't know, I stream on Twitch, link in the description, and I'll see you around. Bye bye guys.